don't know what day it is. I don't know what practice that was. Hey, I think it was probably 12 or 13, something like that.
Thursday.
Thursday?
You're welcome.
Nice. It's the day after the player day off is what it was for me. So, look, guys are out here working. They continue to get better. I'm pleased with the progress that we're making. We still have a long way to go, but guys are buying into what we're selling, and I think we're getting better. So we're excited about Dolphins coming in here for a joint practice tomorrow. So it'll be good for us to see something different, some new formations, some new motions, shifts, all those kinds of things. Test out our rules, and so we're excited about that opportunity to come up here tomorrow.
Dennis, what were the logistics of that last little snap there?
Yeah. Look, you get into the monotony of training camp a little bit, and just a little something to have a little bit of fun. So we switched some offensive players over to play defense, some defensive players over to switch and play offense. 3rd and 5, I think for 10 push-ups. So the defensive players did a great job of executing, on the out route. We got to be a little tighter in coverage there.
When we go back to Tuesday, you guys were running offense was running a 4-minute drill trying to kill the game with the ball. You guys had one timeout. You banged it after the first play. You got the first down. Was there any communication between you and coach about when or how you guys want to use that timeout?
Yeah, look, I mean, we communicated beforehand. Him and Harry Freed, were on the field together, and Harry's going to be the guy. I think that's going to help him in terms of some of that game management type stuff. Certainly during a game, we would discuss that before we went out for that for that series. But on that particular instance, really regardless, I think it was 2:24 left to go. So you're going to want to bang the timeout there, regardless of what they do. So, but look, I think all of these scenarios that we go through, whether it be 4-minute, whether it be 2-minute, backed up, 3rd down, red zone, all those things, are good scenarios for all of us to go through.
What do you see from your guys in terms of being able to get that series over in 40 seconds, even though it was only one timeout in the 2-minute?
Well, look, anytime we take the field in a 4-minute, our number one objective is to get the ball back for the offense. That's what we have to do. So, and you have to have some, feel for the play caller offensively, things that they like to do. But ultimately, we got to keep them from, it's actually a benefit that they got the first down on the first play. So now it's 1st and 10 again, and we got to stop them. We knew we had the 2-minute there. So I thought it was a good drill for us to go through both sides of the ball.
Nick Robinson, someone looked good in the off-season practices, athletic, obviously. What has been your opinion of him in pads, and what do you want to see from him in the game on Sunday?
Yeah, look, I think, I've been impressed with what he's been able to do. I think still, he's still learning how to play the defensive end position. And every day he comes out here, he works extremely hard. He's smart, and he has ability. And so if you're smart and you have ability and you're willing to work, you're going to get better. And I think he's done that. And so I'm anxious to see him play in games and see what that looks like. So,
What do you hope to accomplish tomorrow with the work that you get done? Very, very intentionally with the Dolphins.
Yeah, look, I think guys going out and competing, and I know that, there'll be some mistakes made. But really, at the end of the day, we're really trying to, we have to play our rules because there's not a lot of game planning that goes into this. So we have certain rules that we use, whether it be from an alignment standpoint, front mechanics, or coverage mechanics. And so we got to be able to use our rules and play whatever looks we get from the offense. So I think when you get into training camp and you've been going for however many days this has been, and you see the same things over and over and over, you can kind of begin to anticipate what you're going to see. And now, you're really just playing your rules and having to make sure you get your eyes in the right spot and then react accordingly.
When you became a head coach for the first time, was the preseason important for you just to get a sense of, okay, when do I bang a timeout? When do I, how does my operation work with my coordinators upstairs?
Yeah, look, I think in particular for us as a new staff, I think this is important. I think it's important for all of us. It's important for me as a defensive coordinator. It's all dress rehearsal for the regular season. So I think all of us will learn, players, coaches, everybody alike. We'll have to make sure that we're good on, our communication from the booth down to the sideline, whoever that is, and whoever we're having to communicate with. So we're excited about having our first preseason game, and we'll have to sort out some of the kinks and try to improve for week 2.
You gonna be up or down?
Me,
Yeah, you
I'm
personally.
gonna be down.
You gonna be down?
Yeah.
What are you seeing from Jaquan Brisker? Like, what does he do for the defense?
Well, number one, he plays with a lot of energy. He's a physical player, plays with a lot of energy. Showed great range today. There's a lot of good things that he does. One of the things that we talked about in the offseason is just being available. And he's been available throughout training camp. He's continued to get better. And if we can keep him healthy, then I expect him to be a good player for us.
Coach, when you play so much man, you leave susceptible to some of those drag routes. I'm not saying that the LBs or the safeties coming down need to be headhunted or anything like that, but is there a need to send a message to those receivers as they drag across the middle so frequently to say, hey, that's not going to be free? Like, you're going to pay a toll coming through here.
Yeah, look, I mean, that's defensive football, and we have to control the middle of the field. So inside the numbers, we have to look at it as that's our territory. And however that plays out, that's what we got to be able to do.
She talked about players buying in to what's going on with the new staff. What have you seen specifically that lets you know that process is happening?
Physicality and the effort. I think that's been great. And then you really just look at the professionalism of how these guys prepare each and every day, the attentiveness in the meetings. We've had, I can't think of any instances where we've had, anybody not doing what they're supposed to do. And that's all about accountability. And I think our guys are doing a good job of that right now.
Coach Austin Booker is
I'm not sure you want to name anybody individually, but is there anyone, maybe a rookie or someone that you really want to see, really eager to see how they perform against the Dolphins? And
There's a lot of them. You know what I mean? There's a lot of them. This will be our first, real live action together. And so there's a lot of guys that we need to find out about in the first preseason game. So nobody in particular. It's a lot of guys.
Coach Austin Booker is not the typical defensive end that you have in your system. What have you seen from his game that you feel like fits well in?
Yeah, look, I see a lot of flash plays from him. I think there's some things from a fundamental standpoint and from an assignment standpoint that we still got to get cleaned up with him. But I do see a really good athlete playing at the end position, a guy that's got some good rush ability. And when he plays his fundamentals and technique right, he's able to set edges, which is critical for us in terms of what we do defensively. So I think he's doing some good things. I think the biggest thing is we just still got to work with a little bit more consistency.
When we talked with you before, you said you value power over pounds. Does he kind of fit into that?
He's more powerful than you would expect out of a guy that's a little bit undersized in terms of weight or girth. But I do think that that's still an area that we got to continue to improve on.
Coach Jarrett's been a guy you've played against a bunch, obviously, but now that you've had him in practice and you're building for a while, I guess, what is it like having him in your room compared to lining up against him for so long?
Yeah, well, I mean, I like him better on our team. Look, he's a great leader. He's an outstanding professional. He's a great example for all of the young guys. I don't care whether you're on offense, defense, defensive line, DBs, whatever the case may be. There's a certain way that pros conduct their business, and he does it as well as anybody. His practice habits are outstanding. His meeting habits are outstanding. He's one of the most attentive in all of the meetings. He's hanging on every single word, and I think that's how you become a guy that can play at a very high level for double-digit years in our league. And so I'm really pleased with where he's at. I'm glad we have him, and excited for what I think he can do for us. All right, thanks, guys.
Grady, what did you learn about your teammates on the most physical practice that you had a couple days ago? Yeah, we're gonna be ready. We're gonna be ready to go when it's time to go. We got some dogs on this team, and definitely answered the call on the coaches want to see what we about, and ratchet it up. So on both sides of the ball, we're gonna get each other ready.
Were you wanting that practice? Were you almost like, thank God we're doing it to this level just to see where we're at?
Oh heck yeah, man! Heck yeah! It's good to see where you at, and I really like the philosophy of being letting us go early. Like it's one or two ways we can go about the short yardage is goal line. We can walk through it, fit through it, try to talk through it, but we can really go through it and see what we about, and that's what the route we chose. And I think it really showed a lot for everybody, to show people what they got and that they got that dog in them, or how we can execute in high pressure situations. And we had some wins going back and forth, so it's gonna make us better as a team.
There's lots of talent on the defensive interior, but to have somebody like Andrew Billings, who's just a massive human, like what does he bring to that group?
Yeah, man, you said it, man. He brings size, experience, somebody who played with extremely good effort as a big man. He's been doing it for a long time in this league. Very physical player, and I'm honored to be able to play on next to him, and get to be able to share the field with him. So I mean, he's a really big part of our defense. Whether it's every down or certain packages, he's somebody that's gonna be filled every day.
What do you like about joint practices?
What I like about joint practices is having the opportunity to compete against somebody else. As you can see, when we get a real chippy practice like we had the other day, we can be tired of seeing each other for a little while, So you get to beat up on somebody else and just see where you stand. And there's really not that much game plan that goes into a joint practice, so it's really, really fundamentals on other fundamentals, but with people you're unfamiliar with, So it gets you going, and it also gives players more opportunities to show what they can do, especially with one less preseason game, to help younger players be able to show what they can do against other competition. And, guys like myself always striving to get better, to see how we stack up against somebody else. So it's fun.
What don't you like about joint practices?
It's happening regardless. So what I don't like don't really matter.
This defense got a couple new starters from last year. It's a new scheme. Last year, the defense ranked near the bottom of the league in run defense. What gives you confidence, or do you have confidence at this point that you guys can be significantly better than most of these players were a year ago?
All I can speak on is my time here, and what we've been doing and what we've been working for every day. With the scheme we run, what the coaches want to see from us, and they've been really pressing on the expectations, and it's been clear. And we've been doing our best, since day one, since I got here, to be able to improve from whatever it was last year. I think it's almost irrelevant to this point because we got. It's a new year, new people in the building, and I think it's not even something that we spoke about at all, and we really just focus on going forward and putting our best foot forward every day, and I think we believe highly in what we've been doing, and I think the results will show for itself.
Y'all been showing that 5-man front a little bit lately. What do you like about it? What are y'all trying to accomplish?
We got many different fronts, man. And I think the flexibility of having different fronts, keep the offense on their toes, but whatever. So 4 down, 5 down, whatever it may be. If we got to go 2 down with me and Dex on the inside holding it down from tackle to tackle, we'll make it happen. So, however, whatever coach call, man, we're gonna be able to execute at the highest level, And but about your question, I think creating single matchups across the front gives us the opportunity to just go win mano a mano versus just lining up and letting the offensive lineman tee off on you, certain double teams, So the 5 down look definitely presents some challenges for offense as a nice switch up from the things we do on a base level. And like we talked about Bill earlier, that allows us 3 on the inside to play together all at one at certain times. Me, Dexter, and Bill. And also, but if we got to bring, somebody like Tez down to play the 3 or the 4 sometime, he's capable of doing that too. So when you have players that's flexible to play all across the defensive line, it allows coach to call many different things. And I think that's what we definitely have. Guys who love to play ball and gonna play hard, and wherever he put us at, we're gonna try to do our best.
What are your thoughts on playing in preseason games? It's something you need to get ready for the regular season at this point. How do you feel about it?
I mean, however it got to go, I'm always ready. You know, I've been a part of it where I haven't participated. I've been a part of it when I have. However the coach want to do it, I'm down to do it. You know what I'm saying? And my thoughts is, you know, whenever you get the opportunity to play football, it's a blessing. You know, so whenever you step on that field, you never know it's gonna be your last. You got to put your best foot forward every day. And you know, I'm just the type to go with it how I go, and I'm gonna do my best.
You seen either way be better.
Not so that's just, it's so subjective, you know, for everybody involved, you know. And but when you got the mindset of just being ready, however it go, you'll be ready to go.
In a new place with a new team, what's giving you the confidence to assert yourself as a guy that can be a tone setter for this whole team?
I mean, I'll just be myself everywhere I go, you know. So it's not it's I mean the whether you know the confidence or I mean, whatever it is, you know, I prepare myself to be in any arena, you know, to do what I need to do. And, you know, so all I can do is control, you know, the effort that I give. And, you know, everything else, you know, you just control the controllables and be your best self. And, but you know, I can plug myself in whatever, you know, defense, whatever environment, and I'm confident to be my best self. And, you know, and it's been working for me, you know, so it makes it easy, you know what I'm saying? It's not easy, but it makes it for me. You know what I'm saying? To put in a lot of work and be able to just be confident wherever I go, wherever I put my feet, and just thrive there.
Grady, where have you seen the offense grow the most over this training camp?
I think them guys gelling together pretty well, man. They actually do a lot, and it's really presenting us a lot of challenges as a defense. But when you got guys that are you know top of the game by themselves individually, and you put them all together, it takes a while to you know to gel it up and put everybody to fill certain roles to where it could be the most optimal. But man, I mean, I think they're getting better every practice, man, and I think it's helping us as a defense and us being you know violent and hustling to the ball and trying to you know strike the line of scrimmage is helping them as well. So I mean, it just worked together. But I mean, just like anything, it's gonna take you know work because I mean it ain't all been perfect with us either. So their mistakes can be a little more loud when some of the things we may mess up on you might not see because it's you know from a bigger standpoint of picture. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, trust both sides are working diligently each week. You know what I'm saying to get better and get this thing rolling the right way.
Great.
In what ways has Joe Tooney helped you? Like, what does he do to kind of get you better?
Yeah, man. I mean, I couldn't be in a better situation right now. You know, working against the Hall of Fame guard every week, whether it's in the pass rush, run game. Tooney is somebody I played against a lot of times. So I mean, the respect that I have for him as a competitor is through the roof. But the best, you know, gift that I can have since probably joining this team is being able to have the opportunity to work against Joe Tooney every day, and it gives me extreme confidence going against both our guards. To whenever the time go against another opponent, I'll be fully ready, and you know I'm not gonna see much of a bigger challenge than I got to face every day, and that's definitely a credit to our interior three, and they work really well together, and they're getting better every week. You know what I'm saying? So, and also with Tooney getting putting work every day, it shows the younger guys, younger players that you know you never have it figured out. You know what I'm saying? Him showing up to work every day, bringing it every day, has set the tempo for the not only just the offensive line but for the whole team. And that's something that I pick up off too. You know what I'm saying? So him just being here elevates us in every way. So I definitely couldn't be more grateful to have somebody to go against every day.
Along those lines, Dennis was just very complimentary to how you're very attentive in meetings. Are you doing that just because you're so interested in what's being said, or is it also part of leadership for you?
Oh no, you know, I'm trying to get this point across to you in particular. You know, the questions that you asked me, like, I've been doing this for a long time, and I haven't got to where I'm at trying to play a role to coddle to somebody's um, emotions to make somebody think highly of me. I am me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be me wherever I go. And so I feel like that can answer your question in a way that you know I go about my business the right way. I put my best foot forward every day, and things that are noticed about me, you know, that's noticed about me. But I'm not doing it for a pat on the back. I don't need it. And so how I go about my business, how I go about my business, and if it makes other people around me better, that's better for the whole group. And if it, you know, if nobody picks up from it, I'm still gonna do what I do. So I'm gonna do what I do.
Looks like you were impressed, or earlier, if I recall, you were impressed with Jervon.
Yeah.
All of you out for the off-season program.
Yeah, for sure.
Now that you've lined up against him a ton this summer, is there anything that impresses you on the field with Drew?
With Javon Dexter, yeah, man. I mean, just the way, I mean, the guy, I mean, he's disruptive in the run game. He's something to deal with in the pass game. He just continued to get better. You know what I'm saying? And this effort that he playing with lately, I mean, it's been amazing. You can see him running all the way across the field, and I can't wait to see him cut it loose on game day. So it's just a young player continuing to get better. And he at that year 3 mark where you can make a real big jump, and I'm definitely anticipating it for him. And I'm going to do everything I can in my power, to help him continue to be better. But he ain't gonna need much of a push because he's somebody who got the highest standard set for himself. You can see it daily with the extra work that he put in on the field, in the meeting room. And, I couldn't have a better running mate on the inside right now. So I'm super excited to be playing with him.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, man.